It is one thing for the court to rule, and the next is for the enforcement agency to respect and obey the court and do the needful. In Nigeria, under this regime of Major General Muhammadu Buhari, this is very, very difficult. The Nigerian government on Monday revealed that it will not respect the court ruling. They said they will not release the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu. In a fresh affidavit filed before the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal, the federal government maintained that Nnamdi Kanu posed a flight risk. Simply put, if we release him, he will escape. He will run away. He's going to jump bail. He has shown signs of jumping bail. But then, let us look at what happened prior to the so-called jumping bail. Nnamdi Kanu said, and we saw videos, that his abode was, invaded, like the way they invaded in Sunday Igboho's home and killed and murdered a lot of people. His abode was invaded. They claimed that he was not respecting the rules and regulation of his bail. That is what they said. They said he cannot have gatherings, he cannot speak to the press. They said a lot of things, but the man was so resolute, and they said, okay, because of that, we are going to move around. We are seeing signs of this and that. These do things, it's a joke. And it is said to muscle on him and on a quest to keep their one Nigeria. That's just what it is. On a quest to keep their one Nigeria, looting, stealing, killing, and destroying. Now, in a fresh affidavit filed before the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal, the federal government maintained that Nnamdi Kanu posed a flight risk, like I said, insisting he would escape from the country as soon as he's freed from detention. The affidavit was attached in a support of an application seeking to stay the execution of the appellate court verdict that quashed the entire 15-count terrorism charge the federal government preferred against the embattled leader, Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB leader, arguing the application yesterday. An assistant state counsel in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. David Kaswe, told the court that the case against Nnamdi Kanu bordered on national security, coexistence, coercion. Kaswe argued that Nnamdi Kanu's fundamental rights should not supersede the interests of the nation. They said, let us do whatever we want to do with this guy, because there are more people that will lose their life if Nnamdi Kanu is released. Simply put, that's it. Now, relying on the decided case law in the Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Asari Dokubo, it's good that Asari Dokubo's, they brought him into this, because Asari Dokubo, he is an hack contender. I don't want to use the word enemy, and both of them are at loggerheads due to some stories out there that borders on money. One person wants to command and control. Now, the federal government argued that once a case touched on national security, the right of the individual affected took secondary place. I said it initially, and I said it, and I'm still saying it now. I said, under this regime, unless something hard, something huge happens, Nnamdi Kanu will not be allowed to move around. Sunday Igboho also will not be allowed to step his foot into Nigeria. That's it. This regime will not accept. The regime coming, or the government coming, will make sure that this doesn't happen, because none of them want that disruption of their honeypot. They don't want it. So they are going to do everything to make sure that nobody, unless somebody new, and they've shown to anybody out there that wants to rise up again and say, I'm a freedom fighter, I'm fighting for my people, I want to break this. They've shown what they can do. That they can steal you from wherever it is in Africa. They can kidnap you, extraordinary, whatever they call it, rendition. And they have shown that they can attack, kill, if you try to say you don't want to be in Nigeria anymore. They've shown that as an example. Governments coming do not care. Is it Tinubu? Is it Obi or Atiku that will keep quiet if Nnamdi Kanu is saying he wants to break up Nigeria, or Sunday Igboho, or anybody at all? No, these guys are hell-bent, and they are ready to kill, to steal, and to destroy. They will not accept. They will not allow anybody. So this is a do or die affair. Now, They said it is important to appreciate the gamut of dispositions in our application. The respondent is a flight risk person, and one of the ground of our application is that this matter touches on national security of the state. We further rely on the case of FRN, Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Dokubo, where the Supreme Court held that national security is threatened, or when there is likelihood of it being threatened, human right takes secondary place. Once there is a threat to national security, human rights of any individual can be suspended until such threat is taken care of. Once security of the nation is in jeopardy, the individual right may not even exist. This is what the lawyer of the government argued. Besides, he told the court that intelligence report in government's possession indicated that releasing the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra from detention would worsen the security situation in the southeast. The defendant has shown that he has the capacity to jump bail, 1, to escape from lawful custody, 2, there is reasonable intelligence that the enforcement of judgment of this court pending determination of our appeal at the Supreme Court may impact negatively on the declining security in the southeast. No court can close its eyes on activities happening around it. As we speak, the entire social media is awash with threat to security in the country. We believe that there is an exceptional circumstance to warrant this court to grant our application. We urge this court to resolve the sole issue we raised and find our application meritorious in the interests of justice and unity of the country. However, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Mike Ezekome, senior advocate of Nigeria, urged the appellate court to dismiss federal government application, which he said was tantamount to seeking the stay of the liberty of a citizen. Ezekome argued that, contrary to federal government's position, Nnamdi Kanu's release from detention would guarantee peace in both the southeast and in the country. He said, in fact, my lords, on the contrary, the release of Nnamdi Kanu will actually bring peace and tranquility to the southeast in particular and to the nation in general. This was demonstrated after the judgment of this court that ordered the release of the respondent. Immediately the judgment was delivered, there was so much joy, happiness, settlement in the entire southeast. There was so much jubilation and merriment. This is what he posited. This is what he presented. He said, Nnamdi Kanu's case is different from Asari Dokubo. They are not the same. One is this, the other is that. So now this is what, this is what it is. This is what it is. Nnamdi Kanu, we are not sure what they will be doing. As the federal government said, we are not releasing him. What are your thoughts? What is the way forward? How do you think this corrupt, diabetic, cancerous Nigeria, how do you think it can be brought down? What is the way forward?